That's right. My tailgate handle's broken, so the tailgate won't come down at all. But don't worry, there's an easy fix.
Back to happy! Back to happy!
Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. Hope you are having a fantastic Friday. Yes, my tailgate handle finally broke. This is the pop and lock that some people have had great success with, like myself. Mine is about 5 years old now, so definitely got my money's worth. Other people, I don't know, they seem like they don't last too long, but I do make an effort of like cleaning mine out in the keyhole in there and making sure everything in there is greased. So I did go ahead and buy another one. I'm going to swap this out, but as you can tell, I just went to open this the other day after I had unlocked it, and the handle, I didn't really feel like anything release on the inside of there, but obviously the handle is not engaging the wire to unlock the tailgate. So to get to the inside of this, I have to take the panel off here for the tailgate top, which is just held on by, I don't know, like 15 or 16 of these Torx bits, Torx bolts right here. Some of which are a little difficult to get to, so I'm going to go through the process real quick and show you it's not that bad. Alright guys, here is one of the Torx bolts that hold that bottom plate on the tailgate. There are 15 of these you need to remove. Most of them are very easy to get to. They take a T30 Torx bit, and like I said, most of them super easy to get to. The problem is when you get to the ones down here in the corner along the side right here, it's just difficult to access, and I found the easiest way to do this, after experimenting with different like adapters, reducers, the pivoting socket joints and all that, the easiest way I found, I have one of these 90-degree adapters that goes right into my impact driver right here with a T30 Torx bit that I actually got in one of these little Torx bit sets that came with my socket sets. That will fit in there. Definitely recommend you pick one of these up because that fits in there just perfectly. I'll show you in just a second to access those side pieces. So here's the setup. You can see I have the actual drill body rotated away from the corner since it's just too tight in there, especially since I have the bed stiffeners. Got the T30 bit on the end of the 90-degree adapter, and it just slides on there at a slight angle. The bottom of my camera tripod is actually blocking that. Let me slide you back just a little bit. So once I slide it in there, and again, these aren't super tight, so it makes it easy to get off. And once you get it lined up in there like that, just slow and steady, it should start backing right out. And it comes right out, and that's how you get those super tight ones. The rest will come off easy to access, no problem. And one quick thing to point out so you don't get it mixed up, there are two different size of the T30 Torx bolts. There are these smaller size right here and fewer of the larger size right here. The larger ones go across the entire top row, meaning when your tailgate's in the upright position along the top. These smaller ones start with the middle on the side and down and then all the way along the bottom. So just keep those separated for reinstall a little later. And with all of the Torx bolts holding the bottom of the tailgate installed, it should come free now. Of course, there is this plastic protective piece on the top of your tailgate we need to pop off, but it's very loose, as you can see right there. It's even moving. So I've never popped this off myself. It should just have some clips along the top. I would imagine there's a hole to hold this in, so I'm just going to start carefully popping it up from one side and get the entire thing removed. Pleased to say that top plastic cap did come off relatively smoothly. Just don't pull too hard and risk breaking any of the tabs, but as you can see, there are just holes along the top of this. I'll probably give this a good wipe down while I'm on here because I've never removed that thing before, and it's actually less dirty than I expected. So next step, the tailgate reinforcement panel, which is from Mobtown Off-Road, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. It's a smooth one. It's literally just sitting in there. You can see it's loose. I'll just sort of carefully pry it forward. I'll probably go grab my trim removal tools to sort of get it in there. I don't think I could get that out with my finger. Pop it forward and then slide it out of the slot.
One eternity later.
Okay guys, for the next part, I wasn't really able to film it because it was so tight for the confines, but I was unable to remove the panel because there are some rubber bumps right here, and I just wasn't able to get a solid grip to actually lift it out like what was plan A. So after putting on some gloves to protect your hands, definitely do that. I actually took, I mean, you could use anything. I took the handle for my GoPro, you know, stick when I'm recording, and I slid that in between one of the bars right here to bulge this out, and I was able to squeeze my hand right under here where the handle is, and you're probably not going to see it, but right here where I'm pointing, That is the mechanism that actually releases the handle, so I was able to push that with my gloves on. Again, there's a lot of sharp metal in here, you'll cut yourself up, and as soon as I did that, the tailgate released. Of course, I think I just closed it again, so I'll release that again and go ahead and lower it and get everything removed. Well, that was graceful.
Who's flying the plane?
And obviously once the tailgate's down, the tailgate panel easily removed. And here's the inner mechanism of the pop and lock handle. Instead of trying to figure out like what went wrong, I'm just going to replace the whole thing. It's not that hard. Just a few 10mm bolts holding everything in, so I'll get that swapped over. And one last tip for you guys while you're working on installing the new pop and lock handle in here, make sure you have your gloves on because the sides of all this metal is deceptively sharp. You can cut yourself easily without even realizing it, so just be aware of that. Have your gloves on for safety. With the two outer 10mm bolts removed, the entire assembly is pretty loose. Next step is to get the green and red plastic clip off that's holding your factory steel wire that goes all the way to either side. You just push it in the opposite direction until it comes off and slide it over, and then you will lift the entire thing out. Same for the red. Next is to remove the two 10mm bolts right there holding your camera assembly in. And I just tucked the camera assembly over here. This is all OEM, just getting it out of the way, and the entire pop and lock will come out now if you just slide this sort of weird shaped piece of metal through the opening. Alright guys, so I got the old pop and lock here on the left, new one on the right, and I found what broke, and it's not something I could have fixed anyway. On the new one you see this plastic tab right here. It looks like that completely snapped off. So that is what broke on mine, which is why the handle was loose and not engaging anything. So nothing you can fix, just going to go ahead and reverse process and reinstall this and get everything good to go.
Good to go.
And of course, don't forget to pop out the plastic door that is right here where your camera will go if your truck has a backup camera. And also don't forget to transfer the OEM gasket. This was on the OEM handle. I had it on my old pop and lock. Moving this over to the new one. Just has a few circular openings right there that pop into the tabs and hold it in place. And there's a new pop and lock handle installed. Before I put everything else back together, pull on it carefully, it releases. So working good. About to code my ignition key to the lock there, but so it is just this plastic piece that gets pushed on right there, right below this metal piece, which snapped on mine. And it seems like if pop and lock just replaced that with a small metal stud, these things would last much longer. So pop and lock, if you're watching, please upgrade that little plastic piece. It couldn't cost that much. Come on, what are you doing to me? And to code this to whatever key you want, I'm going to use my ignition key because why not? That's nice and easy. I'm going to remove that sticker covering for the hole. Select whatever key you're going to use, ignition key in my case, and insert it all the way in. All the way into the key, and then next you will rotate it clockwise until it stops. And there's mine, so I'll go ahead and reverse it.
What have I done?
And it pulls out. I thought I had to rotate it back, but it didn't, so let's see. So it's unlocked now. Let's see if I can go ahead and lock it. I heard it click, so hopefully that'll work. And now the handle is locked. And unlocked, good to go. It's that easy. Alright guys, I still have to get the tailgate put back together, but the hardest part is done. It's just slapping the panel back on and tightening it down with those 15 Torx bolts, and that is it. Comment below if you have had pop and lock issues before, and if this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Enjoy your upcoming weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.